Hello friends, Heidi here from Rain Country. God is good all the time. And today, by request, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Azure Standard. Azure Standard, Azure Standard, Azure Standard, however you want to pronounce it. But you know what I'm talking about. So Azure Standard is a company that sells mostly organic and non-GMO products. Now, I had heard about them many years ago, long before I ever got a YouTube channel. And I have people that ask me about it all the time, and people say, hey, why don't you buy from Azure Standard? Well, the reasons why is that we are so remotely located that there are no drop points here. And yes, I have tried to set up drop points here and never heard back from them. I was talking to them, interacting with them, filled up the application, and for whatever reason, they just never got back to me again. And I'm assuming it might be because we are so remote, and it really is a pain for a lot of places. However, I do plan on trying again, but there is a drop point about a good, maybe about 75 miles away from us. And we're kind of getting to the point where we may start going into town a little bit more, especially since after about 5 or 6 years, we finally renewed our Costco card again. And that's where the Costco is about that same location. So we may just plan on doing once a month trips, doing the Costco thing, picking up our orders at the drop points, and whatever else needs to be done in that area, so that we can make the most of our fuel expenses and our time. However, here's the thing that I found out a few months ago when I finally got looking into it a little further, is that you don't have to have a drop point to have Azure Standard delivered to you, or to be able to purchase their products. And I always knew that, but what I didn't do was figure in the total cost of savings per item, even with shipping added to it. And what I found out was, even with shipping on a lot of these things, especially like your 50-pound bags of organic non-GMO grains, even with the shipping added on there, it was cheaper to buy from them. It still came out, I still came out money ahead buying from them than buying from the other places like on Amazon and from Honeyville when it came to my 50-pound bags of grain. I still ended up saving money, so it was still worth it to go ahead and place the order and pay for shipping. So here's the difference. If you are, if you really want to save and you live in a place where there's a drop point near you, that's going to be the best place, because usually what they do is about a once a month delivery. It gets delivered all to one place, and then people go pick up their order. But you have to sign up and be a part of the group in order to do that. I don't believe it costs any money to be a part of the group. It shouldn't. But then it's just basically what it is a co-op, where somebody heads it up, places everybody's order in one big bulk order, and then they divide it up, according to whose is what's. And at least I'm kind of assuming it works the same way as Glory Be. And then you just go pick up your order at a set place and time. And you save all the shipping costs, but you still get the great wholesale prices on the product. And what I might do is start doing that. And then again, like I said, I might look into again applying for a drop point here in our very remote town of Forks. And if I can get enough people on board with that, that would be helpful too. And since I've been purchasing from them now and kind of setting up a history, I'm hoping maybe that they'll consider it, because I'm really, really pleased with their products, what they have available, and with their prices. And so to me, it's worth it either way. Even if I have to keep paying shipping on it, it's worth it to me. So what I have here is just a few of the products I'm showing you that I have in front of me. I recently found out that you can buy cereals, like some of your favorite cereals, and save a little bit of money getting it that way than buying it at, in most of your grocery stores. But they're going to come in packs of 3. And even though I make most of Mr. Rain's breakfast, including the hot cereal, I make my own hot cereal, not just oatmeal, we do that too, but I have a hot cereal blend that I make, and I change it up every time. I'll go ahead and link to that video right up here if you're curious about learning how I make my own hot cereal. It's kind of like a cream of wheat sort of thing, but it's a multigrain. But anyway, he still likes his cold cereals. Oh, and I make granola, and I have several recipes on that. I will also go ahead and link to their most popular and our favorite granola recipe right here. And it's the simplest one too. So if you want to check that out. So I do all that, but there's still certain cold cereals that you just can't quite repeat no matter how hard I've tried making it from scratch. And one of those is like the Oat Crunch, and some others like Cascadia Farms. Kashi is another great brand, and then Nature's Path is another great brand, and they all have certain cereals that we really like from those, especially Patrick. I rarely eat breakfast, but it's mostly for him. So, and this is one of his favorites, and in fact one of these boxes is open because he couldn't wait for me to shoot this video before he opened it up. So that, I went ahead and did that in a 3-pack. It wasn't a huge savings in comparison to buying it, let's say, at Walmart or something, but I like the fact that I'm supporting a company that I believe in a little bit more, and their policies and their stand on things. And so I'd rather spend that money there than at Walmart. And our local store does carry some of this stuff too. But anyway, I was doing the order, so I thought I'd throw those in there. Now, the other thing I bought, this is just from my most recent order, was the evergreen. Now, Mary over at Mary's Nest did a recent video about, well, it might not be recent by the time you see this video, because I just found out I'm actually closer to being 4 weeks ahead of my videos. Wow, I don't know how that happened. That's cool though, I'm prepared. But anyway, she did this video, I'll link to right up here, about grains, and this is one of the ones. The evergreen was one I'd never heard of, and so I thought I'd give it a try. So I started with a small bag, and it's just a 5-pound bag, and they have really good prices on their grains. You're going to get a much better price, obviously, if you buy 25 pounds and 50-pound bags. You're going to see even greater savings. But since I want to try this out, I started with the 5-pound bag, just like I did with their einkorn wheat grains. I bought those on my last order and really liked them, and was going to order a bigger bag, but at the time that I placed this order, they were out of stock. So I'm planning on doing another order real soon, and hopefully they'll be back in stock, because I'm really liking the einkorn wheat. It just makes a nice soft texture to the bread, and anyway, and it's really good for you. It's easier on your gut and all that, because it's an ancient grain, so it's good. But anyway, really great prices, a lot better than what I was paying at Honeyville. And then here is a bag. I thought I was getting a 5-pound bag, and I guess I only got the 2-pound bag, but that's okay. It's a place to start. I can order more. Now, when it comes to making my nut milks, my favorite is the pecan cashew milk, and I like it best for flavor. For texture, it's creamier. Cashew milk by itself is excellent. However, I really like that little added flavor of the pecan. And then what I can do with the pulp from that is I can turn it into a great vegan cheese that turns out really good, or dairy-free cheese. I'll go ahead and link to that cheese recipe that I made with the pulp from the pecan cashew milk. And in there you can also find a link to how to make the pecan cashew milk. But anyway, when I'm making the milks, I like to use raw nuts that are not salted or anything, because in some cases I might want to be using the milk in something that's sweet, and I don't want all that salty in there. And so I definitely want to go with raw, unsalted, obviously unroasted if they're raw, nuts for that. And so they have these organic large cashew pieces, and I don't care if they're in little bitty pieces, because I'm going to be turning them into nut milk anyway. And so really a pretty good price on that. And then the other thing I got in this particular order that I'm pretty excited about is some organic non-GMO chicken feed, layer feed. And I'll put a picture of it here because I don't feel like lifting the big old heavy bag up here onto the counter, and just to shoot the video. So I'll put a picture, and I was really happy to see that they carried that. The price is a little bit better than what I've seen in other places. It's really kind of, especially here, it's really difficult to get a good non-GMO organic feed locally. The only place we can really get that is out of town. I should look again at our local store that tends to carry feed, but last time I was there, they had nothing like that. And so you either got to drive to go get it, or you got to order it, and then it gets really even more costly, because the non-GMO and organic feed is it's pretty expensive anyway. And yes, I still have to pay shipping on this, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. We'll give it a try. I really would like to get my chickens on completely all organic and non-GMO feeds. I do the best I can to give them good organic stuff, and that's why I feed them mostly my own like scratch blend rather than going with the feed. I do have feed that helps get them through the winter and other times, but you know, when there's not as many bugs and stuff to eat, but I really just, it bothers me that I have to just settle for whatever's available. And so I was excited to see this, and if my chickens really like it, it's gonna be something I'll probably be ordering on a regular basis. So the Azure Standard isn't just about people food, it's about animal food too. And then they also have essential oils. I've heard some good things about the essential oils that they carry there. I have not tried them yet. I may do that eventually. And then just all kinds of great stuff. And I kind of feel like I might be jumping in on this video a little bit too soon because I still would like to keep experimenting, buying more products and checking prices and be able to give you more information. However, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and link to the store link down below, and you can get in there and check for yourself. And then you can also get in there and check for drop points and see if you can find any that are local, because they'll show up, they'll show your area. I think you just put your zip code in and it will show you right away if there's any drop points close to you and how far away that they are. So that should be pretty useful, and you can find a way to save on the shipping. Oh yes, and then another thing I forgot to mention, I have ordered several other things. I have ordered their white corn. I'm really happy with it. There's a picture of it right here. What we do with the white corn is we grind it in our Country Living grain mill and use it to make, when I make cornbread for the more hillbilly style, Tar Heel style beans and cornbread that we make once in a while. And it's one of those things that I never grew up with that kind of food, and so I wasn't crazy about it, but Patrick did, because his dad is 100% hillbilly, and I had to learn how to make beans and cornbread. Well, finding a good white corn meal that you know for sure is non-GMO can be difficult. So being able to buy the whole corn and grind it myself was just really great. It's organic and non-GMO. And so I bought a 25-pound bag, I think, and then we just grind it up as needed. Okay, I decided to go ahead and get the jar. So I've got my Fido jar here that Elizabeth had sent me. What I do is I ground a bunch of this up and then fill the jar to the top. And then when this gets down to about empty, we'll just change out the auger in our Country Living grain mill back to the corn auger and then grind up a bunch more. That's why I like to do a bunch at a time, because you have to change out the auger and it's just a little bit of a pain. Not too bad. I just let Patrick do it because he's more skilled at it than I am, but I should learn how to do it myself. So anyway, that's one of the things I got. Another thing I got was the buckwheat. Unfortunately, I made the mistake of buying the non-hulled buckwheat, and I meant to buy the hulled. I'm still using it in bread as is because I'm not going to hull all that stuff. I just don't put as much in as I would if they were hulled. So you don't, the hulls don't grind up really well, but we don't have any problem with them when it's cooked into the bread, pancakes, or whatever, as long as there's not too many in. But that will be something I'm definitely putting in on my next order, is the hulled buckwheat berries, or buckwheat groats, I believe they're called, because I love buckwheat. I love buckwheat flour. I just think there's so many good things in it, and it's another one of those grains I want to add to my hot cereal blend as well. And so then what I'll do with the ones that aren't hulled, I'm just going to feed them to the chickens. The chickens love it. So I'll add it into their, and I already have been, treating them to it. So I'm going to be adding it to the blend, my own homemade blend of scratch grains, that has like the organic peas, split peas. They love those. They don't love them quite as much though as the black oil sunflower seeds, and I get a big bag of that and mix it in. But I'll do a video on that in the future about my homemade blend of scratch grains that I like to do, and then the buckwheat's going to be a part of that. And then one more thing I wanted to mention. I know there's probably other things that I've ordered, but one more thing I want to mention that I've ordered several times now and I love is the organic cheese. I think it's the Rumiano brand, and it's not the raw cheese. They have that too. You can find organic raw cheese, but it's a really great cheddar cheese. You get it in 5-pound bricks, and you can get the best price if you buy 2 5-pound bricks at a time. And then here's what I do with it, because that's, 10 pounds of cheese is a lot, is I cut each one in half, and then I put it in my largest rectangular shaped snap lock containers. You can see here in the pictures, and then I just put them in the freezer. It freezes really well. I mean, I love freezing cheese anyway because when you go to use it on something once it's been pre-frozen, it crumbles up really well. But it's not so good as a slicing cheese if you want to put a slice of cheese on your sandwich or something. But what I found with this particular cheese, if you cut it into slices, the slices will hold well enough for making, whether it be a grilled cheese sandwich or just adding to your hamburger or whatever, and yet you can still take it and crumble it. It's the perfect texture. So I'm really loving that cheese. So that is my favorite cheese and what I've been ordering. And I also plan on ordering some of their mozzarella too, since I've been getting back into making pizza, and I'm gonna wanna make some more lasagna here pretty soon. And you gotta have mozzarella cheese for those. And so that'll probably be one of the other things I'll be putting on my next order. And the other thing is going to be the Redmond real salt. They actually carry a 25-pound bag there, which works out to be even cheaper than buying the 10-pound bucket from Amazon like I've been doing, which was a pretty decent price for Redmond real salt. But the 25-pound bag through Azure Standard is the best price I've seen yet. Now, maybe some people have other places you can get it, but if you're gonna be doing an order, especially if you can get a drop point and you don't have to pay shipping and you just do a big order and get all your stuff there, I think you're gonna save yourself a lot of money. So anyway, go ahead and check out that link and see what you think. And again, this is going out to those people that have been asking me about that and wanted me to do a video on Azure Standard. I still feel like I'm fairly new to it. I bought from Glory for years from a local co-op, but because of certain issues it's not Glory, it's not their fault. There's just some other issues that we were kind of dealing with that it was just easier to go ahead and just find other ways and other places to deal with. But Glory is another really good place. If you happen to have a drop point for them or a co-op near you, I also recommend their stuff. The other problem I did have with Glory was they stopped carrying a lot of my favorite organic, non-GMO things that they used to have, and I'm not sure why. It might not be their fault, but anyway, and they also, I've heard good things about their essential oils too. And one more thing I need to throw in before I forget. If you are on the east side of the states, I am not sure if shipping is going to be a lot more for you, because they are, this company as well as Glory is just a state down from me. They're in Oregon, we're in Washington, so they don't have as far to ship their stuff. And so it may not cost me as much as it will for you. So do that check and see if it's going to be worth it to you. But again, the drop point's going to be your best deal if you can find it. I'm pretty sold on this company so far when it comes to all this various kind of stuff. And they also do have dehydrated and some freeze-dried stuff there, though I haven't tried that. I'm still liking the Mother Earth products for the freeze-dry and some of the dehydrated stuff so far, but I might look more into Azure Standard for that. But anyway, and also you can find the Mother Earth link below too if you want to check them out, because if you use that link, you can save, for the Mother Earth products, you can save 10% on your order every time you go through that link. Okay, well, I hope this was helpful for those who were curious. Thanks for watching. Take care and God bless.